Alexis, and this is my first YouTube video back officially. And I wanted to do like a deep Q&A for y'all because when I look through my DMs and my requests and just everything in general, I get a lot of questions about stuff regarding like how to deal with the breakup, how to stay positive, just everything. So I thought this would be like the perfect video for me to answer all y'all questions and just, let y'all know a little bit about me. So I'm not even going to keep talking. I'm just going to get straight into the questions. Basically, I put a little questionnaire thing on Instagram and I told y'all to ask me some questions. And I screenshotted a whole bunch. I'm not going to answer all of them because if I did that, this video would be like 40 minutes long. So we're not going to answer all of them. We're just going to answer majority of them. And most of them are kind of like the same question. So yeah. So the first question is, are you toxic as an individual or do you have toxic tendencies? If so, what are they? I don't think I'm a toxic individual because I don't like to argue. I know how to take accountability when I'm wrong. So that's not really hard for me. But I do feel like I have toxic tendencies. I feel like everybody does. If y'all hear that in the background, it's just the wind. I can't control that. But one of my toxic tendencies is the fact that like I'm a very emotional person. So if we're in like a heated conversation, or like if me and somebody are in a heated conversation and I feel like my emotions can take over before I get the chance to think about what I'm saying. And that's not a bad thing, but it just makes me feel like, or just may make the other person feel like, dang, like she's coming off too strong or whatever. So, but I know when I do that, so then I go back and I apologize. Because, like, I don't mean to do it, but, like, when you're emotional, everything just comes out at once. Like, you just be saying anything. I'm just be honest. I be saying anything. And I don't even be mean to saying that. But it's just, like, that's just how I am. The next question is, what are your goals for the next 5 years? I got this question, and I got questions like, where do you see yourself in the next couple years? Just stuff like that. That's a question that I never can honestly answer, and I'm gonna just tell y'all why. Because I'm not a person that can predict the future. I feel like life happens, and like that's nothing that we can control. One thing could be happening for me right now, and then in the next few months, like it can be completely opposite. I guess like in the moment, my goals are just to be graduating college, because let's be real, school is just stressful. So one of my goals is to just put my mind to whatever I'm trying to do and stop saying I'm gonna do it and actually do it. Because if you know me, there's this one thing that I've been saying for like the past 2 years and I just haven't done it. And I don't know why. I honestly cannot answer why. Question is, would you marry someone just like you? No. Just no. I can't marry somebody who's the same person as me. And I know that may sound crazy, but like, let's be real. If y'all have the same exact mindset, for example, I'm an overthinker. So if I'm an overthinker and you're an overthinker, well, that's not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. I can marry somebody who can relate to me a lot, or like who's been through similar stuff, or like who have similar interests, but like not the same person, if that makes sense. I don't know. I really don't know how to word that. But no, I would not marry somebody who's exactly like me. I got roles. That's another goal. I need to start working out. Really. Like, I used to be so good about it. I used to be so good about eating. Now, we ain't even gonna talk about that. The next question is, what is the most impactful moment last year that affected this year? What was last year? 2021? Nothing really happened last year that affected me, but I can honestly say that 2020 was the year that I faced depression. I dealt with the heartbreak. Like, I dealt with a lot in 2020. I dealt with the death. Um, so there's a lot of events that happened in 2020 that affected 2021 and further, like in the future. I definitely will say 2021 was probably my healing year. So when I say that, I mean like 2020 was me being down, depressed, sad, everything in the book. And then 2021 was the year for me, like, pick myself up and be like, you can do this. Like, it's okay. Like, life is life. Everything is going to happen. Life isn't perfect, but like, you have to keep pushing. Like, you can't lay in the bed all day. You can't not eat all day. Like, you have to get up and push yourself. A question that I get that kind of goes in hand with what I just said is like, how did you overcome depression? How did you cope with the breakup? Like, how did you get over it? To overcome like depression, I feel like you have to connect with yourself. Like, you have to love yourself. I feel like self-care is very important because when you're depressed, like, there's days where you just want to lay in the bed all day. There's days where you don't eat. There's days where you walk around looking crazy and you don't think too much about it until like you look back and you're like, why was I this way? Definitely journaling. I took this very lightly when my mom told me. She was like, you should start journaling, writing it out, because I'm not a type of person that likes to open up to just anybody. I open up to certain people, but it takes a lot. So journaling definitely helps if you're not somebody who likes to just talk about what's bothering you with just anybody. Write it, because I feel like when you write it and let it out, it's better than holding it in, because when you bottle up all those emotions inside, you may have that one moment where you just explode. Cope with like getting over a breakup, you just can't sit there and dwell over the past. You kind of have to put yourself first. Everybody's situation is different, but you definitely have to look at the situation at hand. And if you're a type of person that likes to keep up with people on social media, you can't do that, because if you see them doing something that you know would hurt you, it's just going to keep hurting you, and it's just going to keep bringing back all those emotions. So if you have to, block them on social media, block their phone number until you feel like you're ready to just, be you, and you don't have to run necessarily from the situation. Meeting new people, like, not necessarily meeting new people to date or meeting new people to talk to, but just meeting new people. Like, do what you want to do. You don't have to feel like you have to minimize what you want to do because you just got out of a breakup. And I always tell everybody around me, everybody that's close to me, if you're doing what makes you happy and somebody cannot be happy for you, then they don't need to be around you. Like, remove all the negativity. Just don't let anybody change who you are as a person. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, be who you are. Don't change for nobody. You know somebody has the potential to be better than what they are now, so you try to push them to be better. That's different than trying to change somebody. Don't change who they are as a person. Who made you the person you are today? Definitely would say that my mom is responsible for who I am today, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have the hustle that I have. I wouldn't have that push. I wouldn't get up every day and say, like, I have something to live for. Like, I definitely went through a lot in my childhood, and I feel like my mom was always there as like my shoulder to cry on. Like, I know a lot of parents don't like to hear this, but my mom is like my best friend. Like, I feel like I could talk to her about anything and she won't judge me. She just won't judge me. She'll be that open ear, and she'll tell me what I need to hear. Whether I like it or not, she's going to tell it to me at the end of the day. And I feel like if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'll be or who I would be, honestly. This question is, do you have any regrets, or would you call them lessons? I don't think they're necessarily regrets. I think they're more so lessons, because I feel like God allows everything to happen for a reason. And, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of this saying, y'all. It's in my head, but I can't get it out. It's gonna bug me this whole video. But it's not a regret. It's just the fact that like I wish it never like I don't wish it never happened, but like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. um I'm thankful that it happened because I've learned so much in my life. Um it sucks that it happened, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened to me that I learned from happened like when I was either younger or like this past year. 5 locations you would like to travel in the next couple years. Definitely Cabo. Um, Cabo is one of them. Jamaica. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Dubai, and I want to go to Bali. Those are 5. It's definitely way more, but if I had to pick 5, those would be my 5. So like when I say, what did I say? Jamaica, I want to go to Montego Bay. And then what else did I say? Oh, Africa. I want to go to Seychelles, Africa. As of right now, how are you mentally on a scale from 1 to 10? I feel like my mental will never be perfect, and we're all human, so I don't feel like we should be perfect. So I would say my mental is probably about like a 7 or 8. It's still things that I'm trying to learn about myself, and I mean, it's always going to be like that. You learn something new about yourself every day. So I feel like 7 or 8 is probably like a good description of my mental right now. What's the hardest thing that you struggle with? Definitely depression, because if you don't know, like I was somebody who didn't believe like depression was a thing. And don't get me wrong, I've never been like medically diagnosed with depression because like I told y'all before, I don't like to vent about stuff that bothers me. But it definitely was there. It definitely was there. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but if you don't know, depression, it's literally like a dark cloud that just sits over you, weights on your shoulder. Like you could be sitting here and you just start crying and you just won't know why. Like that was definitely one of the hardest things that I struggled with because I didn't know how to control it. And I'm not the type of person, I don't like when they prescribe medication for depression because at the end of the day, when that dose wears off, I'm still left with the feelings of depression. That's not really me battling depression. Like that's just me like covering it up, if you feel what I'm saying. So like I definitely feel like that was one of the hardest things I struggled with, but I'm so glad that I overcame it because I feel like that made me stronger today. Is it good to express your feelings to other people or keep it to yourself? This goes with what I told you guys earlier. I feel like expressing yourself is not a bad thing, but you have to watch who you express yourself to because number one, some people just like to feed off of what you tell them. So you may feel comfortable telling somebody something, but they take it and they run with it. This is why I stress so much about journaling because everything that you write in that book is between you and that book. Like you're still getting it out. And y'all may not believe me when I say this, but when I tell you, when you open a journal and you just write, when you go back and read it, you'll be like, what did I just write? Like the sentences get jumbled up. They don't make sense. But that's because you were stuck in a moment and you were trying to get everything that was stuck in out. So once you get that clear head, like journal, make sure you write the date. Write the date of when you're writing, journal about it. Once you get that clear headspace, go back and read what you said, and it'll make you feel so good about yourself because some of the stuff that you write, you'll go back and read it, you'll be like, I don't even feel that way no more, or like, I can see why I feel this way, or like you'll just reflect a lot. Like self-reflection is key. Next question. What is your proudest accomplishment? Coming from this generation, I definitely feel like I'm a successful 20-year-old. No shade at all, but I'm just being real. A lot of people that I went to school with were either dropouts, pregnant now, kids now, didn't go to college. College isn't for everyone, by the way. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like for my age, I'm very successful. I graduated high school with a nursing license. That's, like, not something that everybody does. I have a good mindset. I'm very mature for my age. So I feel like one of my greatest accomplishments was just, remaining focused. Having a nursing license at the age of 18, I feel like all of these are like my greatest accomplishments because it's just preparing me for a better future. It's good that I'm mature now so that when I get older, it only gets better. Next question. Was there a time where you felt so down and non-confident that you were just done with life? I wouldn't necessarily say done with life, but I will say there's been times where I've been down or I have low self-esteem about myself. Like, there's days where the prettiest girl walking this earth can feel like she's ugly. That's just how we are. Like, there's days where I be like, oh, I don't like my hair. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that. There's times where we're like that, and that's okay. Like, but what's not okay is if you continue that mindset and you don't ever go back and pick yourself up and say, you know what? Like, look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, I'm beautiful. Like, I'm beautiful in my own skin. Just don't continue that mindset of having low self-esteem. And I know it's hard because society is so judgmental. Society wants you to have the perfect hourglass figure. You gotta have veneers. You gotta have nice hair. No. Like, just be yourself. Be natural. To be all into, like, the beauty industry, glam, lashes, makeup, whatever. But I can honestly say for, like, the past month, I have not worn makeup. I have not worn no makeup. I have not worn no lashes. And I feel great. Like, next question. What would you show an example of or do to inspire generations coming up? I definitely feel like these generations coming up are becoming more grown. These 14 and 15-year-olds are like grown, and it's just like, don't grow up too fast. In the moment, like, there's times where I wish I can go back to being like 10. Like, being grown is not always a good thing. Oh, one of my goals is to inspire younger generations. It is to inspire other people around me to just, like, be yourself. Like, don't change for social media. Don't change for this society. Don't change for none of that. Just be yourself. You don't have to change to fit in with other crowds. Like, if you feel like you have to change to fit in with another crowd, you're not meant to be in that crowd. You're not meant to be friends with them. They're not meant to be around you because they don't accept you for you. That's one of the things that I feel like I should stress to the younger generation, because peer pressure is a thing. I feel like the younger generations get peer pressured a lot. What's your financial life goal you have set for yourself? I don't really have a financial life goal. I just know I want to make 6 figures. I feel like that's a reasonable goal in this lifestyle. Like, in this day and age, I feel like that's a reasonable goal. Everybody wants to make six figures, and it's not hard. You just have to dedicate yourself, put your mind to it. Never limit yourself to one opportunity. Major is nursing. Obviously, as nurses, you can make 6 figures. But I'm not limiting myself to nursing. There's other stuff that I want to do with my life other than nursing. Have you ever got out of a relationship that you were deep into, and how did you cope? Yes, that was in 2020. That was a 2.5 to 3 year relationship. I feel like it was very hard to get out of because that was, I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like the way that I coped is learning to let go. Just because there's history, just because the relationship is that long, does not mean that you have to stay if you're not happy. Mentally, females detach from a relationship a long time before they detach physically. And when I mean that, I say, like, you hold on to somebody for so long, even though, like, you hold on to somebody so long physically, even though in the back of your mind, you're like, I know I'm not happy, but I just don't know how to let go. Females are very loving, caring individuals, so it takes a lot for us to definitely walk away. Take everything one step at a time. Don't rush yourself to heal. If I can honestly say, I feel like right now I'm not 100% healed from it, but I definitely feel like I'm 90% healed from it. Do what you want to do. Don't let your ex or nobody get in the way of your happiness. Limit distractions. Just, if you're doing something that's making you happy, don't second guess yourself. I feel like God allows us to be in certain positions for a reason. He never gives you ever heard that saying, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers? He's never going to put you in a situation that you cannot get out of. That's just how I live life every day. Pray. That's a given. That's number one. Pray. God hears you. Everything will fall into place. Don't rush life. It'll happen. What tips do you have to gain followers on TikTok? You definitely have to stay consistent. One day, this is how I blew up on TikTok. I caught COVID, was in my room for 2 weeks by myself with nothing to do. So I was like, why not make a TikTok? Made a TikTok, boom, it blew up, right? But I didn't gain all my followers from that one video. You have to stay consistent. So you can't make one video and it blows up and you think, oh yeah, I'm about to get a whole bunch of followers from this. Like, no, you have to be consistent. You have to follow the trends. You have to use hashtags. Find your niche. I feel like niche, whatever that word is. For example, my page. There's a lot of videos on my page that blew up about relationship advice, quotes, relatable stuff to girls. So that's the content that I post. So like, you have to post content that is gonna get interaction. I can't honestly say I've given a TikTok a break because I don't know what's been going on with TikTok lately, but let me just say this. It ain't been it. One more question and then I'm gonna close this video out because this video been long. This video probably like 40 minutes of editing. That's a lot. Am I tripping? I got 2 questions about this. I'm gonna answer this because I can't find the other one. Do you feel like people pay enough attention to the government and what's really going on? And then somebody said, what do you think about the government? Honestly, we're just here. We're just here. Like, there's really nothing that we can do about that. Somebody else asked me, do I think we're in a simulation? Yes. First, I didn't believe in COVID till I caught it, and I was like, oh, I got COVID, so it's real. But like, we cannot live every day scared to go outside, scared to go places because of COVID. Like, it's not going anywhere. If people don't pay enough attention to the government, what's really going on, like, I ain't gonna get into too much detail because if people want me trying to jump down my throat about the politics, and I don't do all that. I don't want to do all that. You know what else is crazy that I was just thinking about the other day? And you know why I thought about it? Because it's Super Bowl. The Simpsons predicts everything that goes on in our life. The Simpsons predicted that the Rams and Bengals was going to be in the Super Bowl. The Simpsons predicted that Trump was going to become president. The Simpsons also predicted that, well, they didn't predict it necessarily, but there was a time where they were all put into that bubble. Remember, like, they had that dome over their whole city? That's us right now with COVID, literally. Like, Simpsons predicts everything. It's just crazy to me because how does a TV show know everything that's going to happen? That's it for this video. I don't know what else to say. What am I supposed to say? It's like, nah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back soon.